The 88th Texas Legislative session is now in full swing. Lawmakers are meeting for the first time since 2021. And for more on what Texans can expect the next 139 days or so, we asked Brian Smith, political science professor from St. Edward's University, to join us this morning. First of all, Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
So yesterday wasn't just the first day of the Texas legislative session. It was Brian's first day of class. How's that going real quick?
Very good.
Students still like you?
Still like me, and as good as the session went. No excitement.
Oh, all ceremonial, right? Okay.
Right.
So speaking of which, more than 1,600 bills have been filed so far. Some of the topics they address: transgender rights, we have school issues, and border security. With Republicans still in control, Brian, what can we expect to see? How conservative will things get this session?
It's almost the identical number of Republicans as last session. So we think about last session as being a very conservative session, so expect more of the same. There's also no turnover in the top leadership.
Right.
Phelan, Patrick, Abbott, still all in charge. So the same leaders, the same numbers, and in many ways the same issues, especially the social issues. So expect more of the same on some of the things you just talked about.
Speaking of social issues, what about abortion access? What can we see out of that?
I don't think we're going to see a lot of movement on that. The Republicans pretty much have what they want. There's been talk of what they call cleave-outs, meaning relaxing the law. But Dan Patrick has said, I'm not going to budge on those.
All right. Well, Governor Abbott has said he wants to see some of that $33 billion budget surplus go to property tax relief. Other people have other ideas. What is actually going to happen with that money?
It's going to be spent, but not all of it. They're limited to how much they can spend unless the legislature decides to bust that cap and spend more. Also, they know that the economy was really good for Texas, so that's why the money's here, but it may not be good in 2 years, so that's why it's not all going to be spent. Everybody has an idea on what to spend it on.
Right.
Property tax, the grid is one of the things, trying to get the grid going. Some people are talking about, more social spending, the Democrats, but there's probably not going to be that. Property tax is going to be the big issue.
There you go. What else are you watching for the next several weeks?
Well, you see old familiars. Casino gambling's back there, probably not going to move. You see a lot of people talking about mental health, gun control, things like this.
Yeah.
Guns probably not going to move at all. What schools
Even after Uvalde?
Even after Uvalde, what they're going to do is they're going to try to address the root cause, meaning they're going to spend money on mental health, but not the proximate cause, meaning reducing gun access. So we'll see some of that. But a lot of it's going to be what they call kitchen table issues. The economy, the biggest one, and the legislature has one very important job, and that's to pass a budget. And it's going to be a lot easier when you do have extra money.
That is the only job they have to do, right?
That is their only job. Governor Abbott can also set some emergency items, and he'll do that at his State of the State address later in the month. So that'll be interesting. And bill filing will go all the way into March. So we'll see what everybody else has in their back pocket and is going to lay out on the table.
More than 1,600 bills, expecting more. As you said, March 10th is the deadline. What is it, the 60-day deadline?
Yes.
File bills. Okay. Thank you very much, Brian. Love seeing you. Brian Smith.
Thank you so much for having me.
Science expert and professor from the St. Edward's University. Thank you so much again for joining us.